I did not bet on USC and Utah, but I wish I had, because it would be a dramatic story either way. USC that went off, they had been, I think, 7 or 8 during the week, and anyway, they went off at 8.5 against
6.5. 6.5.
8.5 is where it went off.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. It's all going to fall into it, but it went off at 8.5. I read a guy online who had Utah at 7.5 earlier. So Utah is going to tie the game up with a field goal. SC blocks the 17-14, last play of the game. Utah game-tying field goal. SC blocks it, returns for a touchdown. Flags on the play because the SC bench poured onto the field. And the Pac-12 officials wave off Utah's first game in the Pac-12. As Michael Shore pointed out, nothing sounds worse than the Pac-12. It does not roll off the tongue. So they return it for a touchdown. The SC players come on the flag. They wave off the touchdown. SC still wins because they blocked the field goal, 17-14. But they don't get the touchdown to win 23-14. If you had SC in that game, you're incensed. Also, because when the referee makes the announcement, he says, by rule, the penalty is declined because it's a dead ball foul and it can only be enforced as the game continues with it, but there's no time on the clock, so it's unenforceable. Yet it still says 17-14. You're apoplectic if you bet on SC, because first of all, you have no business winning because they were about to tie the game. You made the wrong bet, but then you get this break and you win, and you lose so many like that you're thrilled that the gambling gods have shined upon you and out of sheer decency given you a free win, and then they take it away from you. Then you go to bed. You wake up in the morning and the Pac-12 has said, no, it counts. Sorry. Never mind. And then if you bet on Utah, you want to kill yourself. Because then, if you bet on Utah, you made the right bet. SC shouldn't have been an 8.5-point favorite, for crying out loud. Utah was, and then they returned it, and then the gambling gods gave you a gift by not counting it. You're like, oh my God, oh my God. And then the next day they take it away from you. I can't believe I didn't bet on that game. I'd be talking about it for years. I'm going to make up that I bet on that game so that I can share in conversations about it. So in the end, if you had SC, you covered. You had no business winning that game. And if you had Utah, you should have won it. Then you got a bad break. Then they took the break away and gave it back to you. And then they ripped your heart out the next morning. The comments online of people who bet on that game is great, because everybody sees a giant conspiracy. Everybody thinks, no, that clearly most guys who run the Pac-12 bet on SC. Obviously. Dude, it just, man, it happened. But they can't let it go. It's so great. It's the mindset of a gambler. You obviously think that there are forces bigger than you controlling it. And they're positive that one way or another, they were screwed. That people literally were at a table and they're like, how can we count that touchdown? What rule shall we invoke? Anyway, the rule is supposed to be that if the player scoring celebrates prematurely, they can take points off the board. That's a dumb rule. God, that's a dumb rule, but the referees have been told to enforce it. But it has nothing to do with the players running onto the field behind him.
Enforcing celebrating is just a dumb rule.
It's a dumb rule. It doesn't work. I mean, give a penalty on the kickoff, a big penalty on the kickoff. That's reasonably effective. Cam Newton got it when he ran his first touchdown in for his first score, because he went to the ground in a conscious effort.
Did a little air guitar.
Right. Is that what he did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it, but I didn't see the actual. Just first of all, but now I'm interested that Cam Newton should never do that again. Like, that'll be interesting to see what he does next time, because now, like, he's just threw for 422 yards. He's the quarterback. He's the leader. Don't get a 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. I'll be curious to see how he sort of handles that in the future.